So, it's another opportunity to discuss For the Love of My Father, a spiritual guide for women healing from the absence of a father in the age of spiritual evolution. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Olivia S. Benson. I'm the author of two books. One is Answers from Within, Answers to Work-Life Issues in the Age of Spiritual Evolution, and the one we're currently discussing, For the Love of My Father, a spiritual guide for women healing from the absence of a father in the age of spiritual evolution. Both are available on Amazon. If you find this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a like, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends and family about it. And I am just always so hopeful that this is going to be for you what many times I've experienced. I cannot tell you how many times in my life I've been down in a valley. And just all of a sudden, I turned on the TV and there was a show. Way back in the day, I can say for sure that there were many episodes of Oprah that just helped me. I can't tell you how many of my spiritual teachers, whether it was Deepak Chopra or Wayne Dyer or Gary Sukov or any of the well-known spiritual teachers of what I would say is probably the 90s and into the 2000s. How many times I turned on the TV and there was someone speaking about something that I either directly needed to hear or saying something that would take me out of that valley. And so it is my hope, and this is the reason that I do this work. It is my hope that one day you will be going through your YouTube channel, because today we can do it differently. It doesn't necessarily have to be on TV. That you'll be going through your YouTube channel and you will come across one of my videos, and it'll be that thing that will help you with regards to this particular issue, growing up without a father, being fatherless or having an absent father, whatever the thing you want to call it. And ultimately, those facts leading to you perhaps having daddy issues. I hope that there's someone out there that's going through this. And if you're new, again, welcome. But if you've been here, you know that what we've been talking about, and you know that they're not easy things. They're difficult and they're hard, and they have an emotional effect on us. But the hope is that you've been listening, and perhaps that you've bought the book and you're willing to do the work For the Love of My Father. You're willing to do the work, and that you're going through the process. And I know for a fact, having gone through it, that it is not an easy process. It's not an easy road to hoe, and that there are ups and downs. And so having something aside from, just you deciding that you want to do something about it, having someone to listen to, having books to read, seeking guidance is so key. So we've talked a lot, and hopefully if you haven't been here before, you can go back and listen to some of the other videos. But we've talked a lot about the problem, and today I wanted to take a bit of time to talk about solutions. And there is a chapter in the book, the very last chapter in the book is titled, You Are the One You Have Been Waiting For. Can you imagine? You're the one that you've been waiting for. And the reason that I titled that is that, you know what? The answers to our issues, even though we think so, the answers to our challenges, even though we think so, are not really outside of ourselves. Now, this is the thing that most of us, including myself, at the early stages of my journey, would say, well, listen, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to come into the world and to have a dad that didn't do what he was supposed to, or didn't show up for me, or was less than ideal for me. I didn't ask for that. And so what does this have to do with me? Why am I now all of a sudden responsible for this scenario? Well, you could always, and I say this often, you could always stay mad at your dad for whatever he didn't do or for whatever he did to you. You can stay in that place. It's always your choice. But you also have the option of connecting to your inner resources, which I've said before. Everything that I'm talking about is based on my understanding of life from a spiritual perspective. And so when I got to that certain place, I realized that, you know what? GEFS, God, Energy, Force, Spirit, is not far away from me in some far off place where I don't have access. I realized that if I was willing, I could find that connection to the God within me, God, Energy, Force, Spirit within me. And by accessing that connection, I would then be able to work on my healing much easier, much better. And that is not outside of yourself. That is within yourself. Now, in that chapter, you're the one that you've been waiting for. What I talk about are some of the tools. If you've been here before, you know that forgiveness is at the top of the list. There's so many different ways to work on forgiveness, but however you choose to do it, I talk about it. I think I have a whole chapter dedicated to forgiveness, but that is, I would say, at the top of the list. There are other resources, and that's one of the great things about being alive today. You can seek resources, almost anywhere. If I always say this, if having financial resources is a block for you, you can find just about anything on the internet. You can read things on the internet. And obviously, if you have the resources, you can seek counseling. You can seek spiritual counseling. You can have conversations with people. This is not an issue. And you can always do whatever you want. But if this issue stays buried, it is not going to be resolved. One of the chapters of the book is titled "Things Buried Alive Never Die." And that unfortunately happens very often because we think if we just put a cover on it and keep walking, which I've done in my life, everything's going to be okay. But guess what? It is not going to be okay unless it's brought up, unless it's addressed, unless it is healed, and unless it is released. Another solution that I talk about in this chapter, which is titled "You're the One That You've Been Waiting For," is tapping. Tapping is a technique that is intended to release certain energies from the body. I have used it for many years, and I feel that it's been extremely helpful. We talk about prayer. I talk about prayer, and I also talk about meditation as tools to help in your healing process. Now, all of these things are intended to help you release blocks, remove blocks within yourself from your experiences, and establish your direct connection with God, Energy, Force, Spirit within you. And then, for as much as you want to have a daddy, once you have that connection, I have this phrase that I use: God is my daddy. God is your daddy. And what greater daddy could you seek? For whatever reason, you came into this earth, you came onto this earth. Thank God you're here, you're alive, you have made it. But for whatever reason, the way that things have worked out, your dad was not present in your life. This is a fact for you. Let's just say it's a fact. And let's presume that we believe that God doesn't make mistakes. That is the premise of many religions. God doesn't make mistakes. So whatever is, is. So you didn't get a physical dad, an emotional dad, no dad present in your life. It is what it is. Well, God is available to you. And God is your daddy. But the way that you get to feel that is by doing the work. By doing the work of forgiveness, perhaps by getting some counseling, perhaps by doing tapping or any other energy release techniques, by getting into prayer, by getting into meditation, and then you are clear to tap in to that energy within you, that God energy within you. Again, it is chapter 10. The title is You Are the One You've Been Waiting For. And it's in my book, For the Love of My Father, a spiritual guide for women healing from the absence of a father in the age of spiritual evolution. It's available on Amazon. I'm Olivia S. Benson. I hope that this video has come to you at a moment where you needed to hear certain things, and that perhaps, just perhaps, something that I said was helpful to you. If that's the case, please give me a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share it with somebody who you believe might benefit from listening to the things that I have to say. Also, please consider following me on Facebook at author Olivia S. Benson and on Instagram at Olivia S. Benson also. Finally, my website is oliviasbenson.com. I have other things that I've written as well as products that are available for sale. And again, thank you for stopping by. I hope that this has been a blessing to you. Take care and see you next time. Bye.